In a quiet town called Cape Town, there lived a beautiful girl named Zuri. She was admired by everyone in the village. Men from far and wide came to ask for her hand in marriage. No one could deny her beauty. Her glowing skin, radiant smile, and kind eyes made her the talk of the town. No matter how many men asked her to marry them, Zuri couldn't say yes. Instead, she preferred to spend time with them only to send them away when she was done. It wasn't because she didn't want to. Zuri had a deep secret, one she couldn't share with anyone except her two best friends, Aminat and Temitope. She trusted them completely and confided in them about her struggles. Zuri has something inside her, something that made her feel restless. She couldn't spend a day without being with a man. It wasn't just one man. Sometimes it was even 10 in a single day. It wasn't because she wanted to, but because she had to. There was a fire inside her that she couldn't control. Since she was 15 years old, Zuri had felt a strange burning in her body that made her feel restless. She started seeking out men to calm the fire, but no matter what she did, the feeling never went away. By the time she turned 25, the problem had grown worse. She had lost count of how many times she had sought help, but no one knew how to help her. Zuri had slept with almost all the men in her town because she had a very high fire between her legs that needed to be constantly satisfied. She was deeply ashamed. She had even paid men to be with her just to ease the burning fire inside her. But nothing worked. Every night she would lie in bed and cry, wondering why she was cursed with this terrible secret. She didn't want to live this way, but it seemed impossible for her. Her parents were clueless about what was happening to their beautiful daughter. They often pressured her to get married. Zuri, you are a beautiful girl. Why don't you want to settle down with a nice man? But Zuri couldn't tell them the truth. How could she explain that one man would never satisfy her enough? How could she marry when she needed many men every day? So she kept her secret, telling her parents she wasn't ready for marriage, even though the real reason was far darker. One day, while walking out of a small cafe, Zuri bumped into a young man named Kumasi. He was kind and gentle. And for the first time in her life, Zuri felt something strange, something different. Her heart raised and her cheeks flushed. Kumasi smiled at her and said, "No worries. Are you okay?" Zuri nodded quickly, unable to speak, as Kumasi offered her a ride home. She found herself agreeing without hesitation. That night, after their chance meeting, Zuri couldn't stop thinking about him. She felt something she hadn't felt before. Hope. Maybe, just maybe, Kumasi could be different. As days went by, Zuri and Kumasi grew closer. They spent more time together, and soon enough, Kumasi confessed his love for her. Zuri was overjoyed. For the first time, she believed she could have a normal life. Maybe this love would take away her secret and the fire inside her would disappear. But it didn't. Even though Zuri loved Kumasi deeply, the burning desire didn't stop. She had tried and tried and tried. For the first time, she believed she could have a normal life. Maybe this love would take away her secret and the fire inside her would disappear. But it didn't. Even though Zuri loved Kumasi deeply, the burning desire didn't stop. She tried to hide it, but soon she found herself sneaking away to meet other men daily. She hated herself for it, but she couldn't resist the pull. The guilt ate away with her. Every time she was with Kumasi, she felt like she was lying to him. She wanted to be faithful, but the fire was too strong in between her legs. One evening, Kumasi surprised Zuri with a proposal. He got down on one knee and asked, "Will you marry me?" Zuri was shocked and she said yes. She couldn't wait to share the news with her best friends, Aminat and Temitope. The three friends met at their usual spots the next day. Zuri proudly showed off her engagement ring, her smile wide and bright. Aminat and Temitope cheered for her, hugging her tightly and celebrating this big moment in her life with her. They drank and laughed, imagining the beautiful life Zuri was about to have with Kumasi. But deep inside, Temitope felt something dark. She had always been in Zuri's shadow. Temitope had struggled to find love, and now she couldn't understand how Zuri, who carried such a dark secret, could be the one to get everything. Temitope felt bitter and jealous. How could someone who slept with so many men be rewarded with love and happiness while she, Temitope, was left with nothing? She couldn't stop the jealousy from growing. It ate away at her until she came out with a plan. A plan to stop Zuri from marrying. The big day arrived. Zuri and Kumasi were surrounded by friends and family. The wedding hall was beautifully decorated. Everyone was excited to witness their love. But just as Zuri and Kumasi were about to exchange their wedding rings, something strange happened. The large screen in the hall flickered and the video started playing. It wasn't a sweet video of Zuri and Kumasi's journey together. No, it was something much worse. It was a video recording Zuri of sleeping with different men. The guests gasped in shock as the sound of their voices filled the room. Zuri's secret was out for everyone to see. Kumasi's face turned pale. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. Zuri stood frozen, her world crashing down around her. The whispers in the room grew louder, and Zuri could feel the weight of everyone's judgment. Kumasi didn't say a word. He walked out of the hall, leaving Zuri behind. Zuri ran after him, crying and begging him to listen. But it was too late. Kumasi was too hurt. He drove away, leaving Zuri standing there, broken and alone. Aminat quickly rushed to Zuri's side, helping her into a car and driving her home. Zuri cried uncontrollably, wondering how her life had come to this. She knew her secret would destroy her, but she never thought it would happen this day. The days that followed were filled with pain and regret. Zuri's heart ached for Kumasi, but she knew the hard truth was difficult to face. She couldn't live with her secret any longer. She needed help, real help to deal with the fire inside her. You must be wondering who had played the video on Zuri's wedding, right? It was Temitope. Temitope, her friend, the one she trusted with her secrets. Temitope has secretly taken records of Zuri with other men and played them on the screen on her wedding day just to end the marriage. All because of envy and jealousy. Zuri didn't know Temitope was involved. She still treated her like a friend and sister. Temitope kept fueling the fire between Kumasi and Zuri's relationship, seeking different ways to get Kumasi's attention. She thought to herself, since I have succeeded in destroying the relationship between Kumasi and Zuri, I think I can have Kumasi to myself. But no matter how hard she tried, it failed. Kumasi wasn't interested in anything that had to do with her. Zuri, on the other hand, decided to seek professional help. She found a doctor who specialized in the disorder she had, and slowly, through therapy and treatment, she began to heal. It wasn't easy, but Zuri knew she had to fight for her life. One day, after many months of healing, Zuri received a letter from Kumasi. In it, he told her that while he was hurt by what happened, he still cared about her and wanted her to get better. He also went on to write that he later realized it wasn't Zuri's fault, it was a health condition. He included a phone number in the letter and asked her to call him. Out of excitement, Zuri called Kumasi using the number in the letter, and they had a lengthy conversation that led to a reconciliation. Kumasi and Zuri's relationship rekindled, and Kumasi was ready to support Zuri through her therapy and help her heal completely from her high libido issues. Temitope, on the other hand, realized she couldn't have Kumasi. She also came to terms with the harm she had done to her friend. Feeling guilt and regret, she decided to seek forgiveness. She begged Zuri to please forgive her and told her how she was sorry. With her good heart, Zuri forgave Temitope, but their friendship could never be the same as before. Eventually, Kumasi and Zuri got married, and Aminat was the chief bridesmaid. They were all so happy, and Zuri and Kumasi lived their lives happily ever after. Moral of the story: secrets, no matter how well hidden, always find a way to come out. It is important to seek help and be honest with ourselves before it's too late. True healing comes from facing the truth, no matter how painful it may be. Secondly, let us be mindful of the kind of people we call friends, because there are friends who are actually unfriendly. Be careful about whom you tell your secrets to. Sometimes, the best friend you can have is yourself. Thank you so much for listening to this story. I hope you learned a thing or two. You are watching Tales by Kelechi, and please, if you haven't subscribed, kindly click on the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that when I post more interesting and insightful stories like this, you will be the first to get them. And if you're a returning subscriber, hey, thank you so much for listening to my story. I do appreciate your consistent support and I do not take it for granted. See you in my next video. Bye.